Perth Linux Users Group, talking Linux and open source.
480, welcome to the place where people's eyes do not glaze over. And welcome to the AGM as well. And in the normal way, we'd like to start by talking to the people in the web community and just find out what's going on around the place at the moment. Russell McGee is here from the Django group. Russell, will you put your hand up and someone will pass a microphone. And you can tell us what's happening in the Django community in Perth at the moment. Just one sec. No, that's a beer, that's not a microphone. Thank you. The microphone is for the purposes of the people who are looking at the stream. It's not for you guys. I've got to speak in a louder voice. Can you hear me at the back?
Yes.
Thank you. Russell, what's happening?
After many years of trying to get one going, I've actually finally got a meetup group going for the Perth Django users group. So we just haven't quite got as far as organising a meeting yet, but there is a meetup group you can jump onto. So if you are a Django interested person in Perth, come jump onto that. Coming up in the broader Django community, there is of course DjangoCon US coming up in the first week of September. I know there are still tickets available for that if you want to get to Virginia. It's a very, very cool event if you get over there. I know I will be there, and I'll also be at PyCon AU in about 3 weeks' time over in Hobart. So hopefully I'll see at least some of you there.
Thanks very much. Can you pass to Darcy? Functional programmers, Darcy? Oh, beg your pardon, Thomas. Drupal and functional programmers.
Cool. So we've got the Drupal meetup. It's the first Tuesday of the month, which is next week, where we'll be having presentations about responsive design and page layout or something. I can't remember the other one. I'm pretty sure it's something to do with design and layout and things like that. So it's quite a designery sort of a meetup. And the functional programmers is, I think, the week after, where we'll be revisiting J, which is awesome if you know it and hideous if you don't. And also having a bit of a retrospective from the International Functional Programming Competition team from the University of WA, and they'll tell us how they went and about the competition and things like that.
Great. Can you pass to Gary Barber behind you, who can tell us something about UX and accessibility?
You've got the UX meetup coming up in the next, not this week, the following week. So that's the second Monday of the month, which is the 17th. Now, this month we're covering off the mobile interface design and the UX of mobile interface design. So that promises to be quite interesting. And the following week after that, we have the accessibility meetup, which is again delving into how can we improve accessibility in general. The UX meetup is at the Oxford Hotel. All details are on meetup.com. And the accessibility meetup is on at the Milk and Honey Cafe in the morning at the ungodly hour of 7:30.
Very good, thanks Gary. Someone from Morning Startups? Sam, do you want to say something? Okay, well I went to my first one today. They're held right here, 7:30 in the morning, every 2 weeks. If you're a startup or you're an intending startup, that would be a good thing to do. Isaac Jury runs that group, it's on Meetup as well. What other groups? The Web Designers group, is Neil Gibson here? No? They very kindly deferred their meeting so that we could hold the AGM tonight. Anyone else who'd like to talk about an activity that they've got, a group that they're involved in? Thank you, James. Plug.
So obviously, you may have noticed we've got some cameras and some lights here today, so Plug is filming this tonight. And our talk that Plug is having in 2 weeks' time, Tuesday the 14th, will be actually about how this setup works, how it's put together, how we stream it live, which is happening now. So if you're interested, come along. The month after that, I think we've got Leo talking about Bitcoin in detail. And while I'm talking, there's a bunch of empty seats here at the front, and I'm sure that Brett's not going to bite. So if you guys want to come down and take a seat instead of standing there for the next hour, come on down, take a seat.
Good idea.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, James.
If you're asking questions, obviously the microphones we've got aren't being amplified in the room. It's for the recording that we're doing, which will go up onto the Port 80 website and the Web Industry website. So please whack your hand up and I'll grab this microphone to anyone who wants to ask a question.
Thanks, James. And thanks to Plug for coming out in force to support the association today. Really appreciate that. Anyone who's looking to employ people at the moment would like to put their hand up and tell us about what they're looking for. No one hiring tonight? Really? That's a change. Good. Okay, so the smart aleck over here is Miles Burke. He's the chairman of this association, and he's going to take over and open the AGM for us. Will you please welcome Miles Burke?
Thank you. I was thinking of doing a talk this evening on personal brand management, thanks to Brett for finding a most ridiculous photo of me to put on the slide. No, I'm not Lachlan. There we go. But anyway, anything that goes on the internet stays on the internet. Just remember that. So I'm the warm-up act for Lachlan, who's sitting at the back here. Yes, I'm raised. Lachlan's here kindly from Microsoft, and he'll be presenting about 10 minutes after our bit, talking about IE 10 and building web apps in Windows 8. So there we have it. I was going to try to write 7 hours of notes on my arm, but didn't quite work that way. So the first step is minutes from the previous AGM. Do we have minutes from the previous AGM, or are we just going to motion that they're... Yes, okay, true and correct.
And I move
all good.
True and correct.
You do? Okay, and I'll accept that. As you can see, this is very, very formal. And so matters arising from the previous minutes. We had a few committee members that came on as a result of the last AGM who have since moved on. Dirk Kelly moved to New York to greener pastures, I think the term goes. Tamara Clare resigned due to work priorities. She was in Adelaide. Chris Doyles was appointed to fill a casual vacancy. Chris is here no? Sure he's here. I'm here. I heard a voice. Not here. And as a result, we need to appoint 2 WIPA reps to the committee. So WIPA are the Web Industry Professionals Association, and we'll talk about that a bit further. Constitutional amendment from the last AGM didn't go through due to a technical error, and this was written for me, but I can tell the truth that it didn't get in the 14 days that DOSEP allows, which is crazy, but anyway, so I'll take the full blame for that. But it's been included in the proposed amendments for this evening. So the committee, do you want to stand up, those that are on the AWIA committee, and those standing maybe sit down or put your hand up, wave, something. All right, so here are the committee members. There are a few more sneaking in from the sides and elsewhere. First, I'd like to thank you, you can sit down now and hide again. I'd like to thank our retiring members, Alex Graham of Cadmium, Alex, who's waving at the back, who's been on the committee for 6 whopping years. How she put up with me for 6 years, I don't know. And she's one of the longest serving committee members. So there was meant to be something happening here, but he's run off. Do you want to, Alex, do you want to put your laptop down and come to the front, maybe? Someone hum some wait music for a moment. All right, I have a certificate of thank you for you. So well done. Thank you very much. And... we rehearsed for weeks for this, as you can see. And a surprise. And a bunch of flowers as well. Thank you very much. I won't put Alex through a speech because I know she'd rather work in the background. Sean Gardner, who I don't think is here this evening, he has, how old's his child? 1 week or something? 1 week old, which is a poor excuse, but he's not here. From Precedent for his ideas, business sense and detailed work. And he's retiring due to said baby and business as well has picked up for him. Chris Doyles has not re-nominated but will be working on the Web Awards Committee and continue to be involved. Did you want to just show those certificates, Maestro, or should we? Yeah. That's it. No, I think. Thanks to Ashel from Aduca for his ongoing support and particularly for being the person who stood up and supported Edge of the Web when we were desperately short of helpers. I don't think Ashel's here, is he? He's hiding as well. Helen Burgess in the second row. Put your arm up so everyone can see. For her continuing... No? No stiff... for you only get it when you leave, damn it. Continuing dedication to the Australian Web Awards. She's done a brilliant job, so well done, Helen. With broken arm and all. And Gary Barber has had a major contribution in previous years, sitting right next to Helen. That was well set up. Thanks, Gary. Judd and Brett, my faithful assistant here, have had some of the most colourful communications ever come out of the association. Judd has a certain way about himself. Where is Judd? Hiding. Normally really noisy. Where are you? Be hiding somewhere. Oh, I did? All right. And Judd's particularly done hard yards on the Web Awards, and Brett has been instrumental in remodelling the Constitution that we're going to go through very soon. This should only take about 4 hours. Adam Fitzgerald, hiding in the corner here, for sound advice and leadership during the Edge of the Web, and been involved in the Edge of the Web subcommittee also. Thank you, Adam. Do we have certificates for anything? Or no? Chris Bauer, for solving problems and sticking with us despite a period of serious ill health. Where's Chris? Oh, sorry. Where's Chris? Yeah. Thank you, Chris. Joe Manarati, who's in Victoria, for building our links with AUDA, for establishing Port Adia Melbourne, and for liaison with the Web Industry Professional Association. It's got here, comment on committee. I've got to be careful not to read this word for word. Yeah, the committee have done an amazing job in the last 12 months. I feel like I've been completely lazy and out of the picture. And these guys have really stepped up and done an amazing job. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you also to Brendan, who happened to be sitting in the front row. He's now shaking his head. From iPixel, for holding the website together in the face of many technical challenges. That's one way of putting it. That's, did you want to say anything on that, Gary? Or, no, whoa! There's a reason phones are put on silent. And that was Joe Manaridi. So, Jan Bryson and Chrissy Bennett from Partner and Prosper for being the glue that holds our events together. Without those two, we'd completely fail on our big events, so well done to them. And valuable strategic contribution also. Colin Daly. Is Colin here? No? Yes, he is. I thought I saw him. Ah, hiding behind the light. Okay. Colin from Creative Matters for the significant design work, both on the Crowdies and the wide lines, so thank you. It means a lot. And Port Adia has been successfully established in Melbourne, thanks to Marty Drill's hard work and leadership. And that reminded me that I was just working out before, I think this is the 110th Port Adia that we've held, and it's 10 years next Tuesday since Port Adia started on August 7th of 2002, so that was a while ago. And on the Whipper front, thank you to Ricky, Michelle Roberts and Joe Manaridi also. So the achievements that we've had over the last year, should have brought that beer up with me. Our Whipper initiative, we've applied for some funding through Joe to help with acquisition, but unfortunately we weren't successful on that front, but are developing good relationships with Whipper and AUDA. The Port Adia Melbourne's now established. Port Adia Sydney and Adelaide are currently being planned and worked through with volunteers there. And Port Adia Perth, as you can see, is a good turnout still. We've amended the Constitution and developed a strategic plan that supports the next couple of years with AWIA. We've adopted the wide lines, which has been a big one, ethical guidelines around the web industry. And are you going to speak on those shortly? Excellent. And we'll hear more about that very soon. The Australian Web Awards has had a modest level of entries this year. The ceremony last year caused us financial stress. That was an understatement. The Melbourne event nearly didn't go ahead at all, so very, very pleased to see all the committee dedicated to pulling it off with 3 Whopper vouchers and $10 that we had spare, so that was good. On the plus side, it's led to extremely improved processes, particularly around subcommittees also, so we've really pulled our fingers out on that front. And we've launched a new section for the awards, the Crowdies, which is probably going to net over 300 nominations, which is awesome. It's a really good achievement. And motion that the chairperson's report be accepted.
Yeah, I move that be accepted.
All the stuff that you have to do. Treasurer's report. In second. Anybody? Anybody? Hand room of hands. Sean Gardner, as I mentioned before, couldn't be here this evening, so the wonderful Helen Burgess is going to get up and say a few words. I'm told that you have to speak into that microphone.
Oh, that's fine.
Yes.
That's fine. Okay, so basically our financial position at the moment is that in the bank we have $31,747, and we have some liabilities of just under $2,000. We've got some assets that are our bank balance, a deposit that we've paid for Edge of the Web next year. So that's some stuff that's puts in, basically means that we are $33,554 for the year, all up. So that's what we have in our hands. So incoming, we've had membership, we've had 23,000 from membership. Sponsorship, we'd like to thank Ilysys, Fast Hit, Web Directions, Frontier Group, Accessibility Oz, Red Hack and Ninefold, plus some of the other sponsors that actually come in for the Web Awards, because we raised 44,000 through our sponsorship over the 12 months. Edge of the Web brought in 51,000. The Web Awards brought in just under 7,000. Port 80 was just under 200. So that's for donations and that sort of thing. And we claim our GST back for everything that we purchase. So we got about $4,000 back from the government. However, we had to spend 67,000 on Edge of the Web. We had to spend 15,000 on the Web Awards. Port 80 costs us just under $1,000. Our maintenance on our website is about just under 6,000. And although we love Jan and Christy, they don't necessarily do it for free, so we have to pay them some money. So that's about $27 in our administration costs. So basically, we're in fairly good shape now, and we've just got to keep on going. So that's it. I'm going to move that the financial treasurer's report is put in, and Brendan's. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Helen. And we'd also like to put forward a motion that Business Oxygen be appointed the auditor of the association's accounts. You need to say anything else on that? Or? That's fine. Yep. I move. Excellent. Can't say that this is half scripted.
We have a second for that?
Adam over and hiding behind the lights. Now, really exciting stuff, special resolutions. You've all been sitting on the edges of your seats for this. I have to say it word for word that the proposed changes to the Constitution circulated on the 10th of July 2012 be formally adopted by the Association with the exception of the change mooted for Section 10(1)(e).
Can I speak to that motion?
You can.
Thank you. I'll just run through, just so that for those of you who haven't read off the website the reason for some of these changes to the Constitution. I'm going to run through the most important parts only. There are a lot of minor changes in there. We've created 2 new classes of membership, special and temporary classes. The special class is created so that we can accommodate members who join us from WIPA, so that we can allow WIPA to carry out the commitments that they've made to their own members. So we need to do that with a special class, and we created a temporary class, which means that we don't have to, when we have events like this, if we invite people as temporary members, then we avoid the need to have to do a tax return at the end of the year. So there are some benefits for us in the accounting in having temporary members. The other significant thing we're doing is limiting committee membership to 5 people from any one state, which we think is consistent with being a national organisation. Historically, it's been dominated by Western Australia. And we've also removed the requirement that at least 2 representatives of each class of members has to be elected to the committee. We don't have a strong student membership base, but the Constitution required that, so we've made that change. we've allowed for postal votes, which was the change that went through last year. Again, that's consistent with being a national organisation, and we've made some changes to make it a little bit more difficult for people who are expelled to call general meetings to complain about that. We've just extended the amount of lead time that's required for that. The reason that we've got 3 motions today instead of just one is that the committee, the draft changes that you were sent 21 days ago included a committee of 9. The committee has subsequently decided that they want to have a committee of 11 people, which allows us to accept into the committee a couple of people in the eastern states and improve our representation, make it more national. So for that reason, we've had to put together 3 motions today instead of 1. That's the first motion. Would anyone like to speak against the motion?
There was quite a bit of discussion about what exactly postal votes means and whether we still have to post pieces of paper across a continent to vote. Has that been clarified as to the exact meaning of postal votes and whether email counts as postal and all that sort of thing?
That's a very good question, and I was looking at that today thinking we should have put a definition in there for what a postal vote is, but we haven't done that.
We spent about
so that's
an hour
something
and
we
a
should
bit
do.
talking about it last year. When did it pass last year, the postal votes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If my memory serves me correctly, there is a definition for postal vote and what it is under federal law. So you can just, and people often use that as a reference point.
Do you want to put that motion? We're going to have to do 3 of these. And so I'll be good at it.
By the end of the night, is that what so, yeah, take a vote on show of hands, I guess. Is anyone happy with that? Is anyone counting these?
We don't have to if you can do it on numbers just looking at it. But if you're in any doubt that there's 3/4 of the people, then we need
3/4 of the members.
3/4 of the members. Yeah, it's only members voting. So you need against.
Anyone against the idea? No. Excellent. Carried. The next one, do you have them all here, or are you going to... 10(1)(e) of the Constitution be amended to read as follows: not less than 1 other person, but no more than 7 other people, all of whom must be members of the association. Is that the one that we're going for, or removing? All in favour? It's exciting, isn't it? Keep your hands up. You didn't all get paid the big dollars to come here for... Anyone against? No. The committee. Not less than 1 other person. It would be difficult. Committee of 0. And did you want to speak on the motion or anything? No? And third motion, that the proposed amendment to section 10(1)(e) be formally adopted by the association. Does anyone want to speak again? What's that in relation to? What's the last one?
To adopt the motion
Okay.
that we've changed. The section we've changed.
And why lawyers aren't human. Anyone against that idea? Excellent. Ah, motions carry. Okay. Put your arms up. All right. The election of committee and office bearers. Since the constitutional amendments have passed, we have in mind to use an amended constitution as the basis for the following election. Are there any objections to that? No. Everyone's too shy to speak up. So the election of office bearers, Brett Treasurer is the only nomination for chairperson of the association. Joe Manariti is the only nomination for vice chair. Helen Burgess is the only nomination for secretary. Adam Fitzgerald is the only nomination for treasurer. Since there are no other nominations for these positions, we'd like to announce that these people have been elected into their respective offices. Well done. that mean I sit down now and you take over? No? Nearly. It's hard as a chairperson stepping out. That leaves 7 other nominations for the 7 committee positions available. Chris Bauer from WA, Nick Crowther from South Australia, George Evans from Victoria, Judd Exley from WA, Ricky Onsman from New South Wales, Michelle Roberts from New South Wales, and Brendan Tully from New South Wales. The Constitution requires that these positions now be filled, and there is no need for an election this evening. I declare all nominees elected to the AWIA committee and thank them on your behalf, for all the work and time sacrifice they're about to make. It's not that hard, honest. And certificate of thanks. Is there any other certificates of thanks that I need to? Oh, I can't give this to myself. It's a bit weird. Thank you, me, for work and participation on the committee, August 2002 to July 2010, August 2011 to July 2012.
We've got you another one as well.
Another one?
Yeah,
Is that a picture of me in that?
and we got you this one, Miles. Where are you? Stand over here.
Yes,
we got
boss.
you this one
That's how I
because
broke this arm.
not only did you found this organisation, but when it's faltered on a number of occasions, you're the guy who's stepped up to make sure that it doesn't collapse. And apart from doing that, you've also been the spark behind our major initiatives in the Web Awards and the Edge of the Web, and this year with Widelines. And, you know, also, you and Ricky together have brought together the 2 associations in Australia that represent our industry, and we're grateful for that also. So with great respect and gratitude, I'm pleased to announce that you are hereby the first life member of the Australian Web Industry Association.
Oh, thank you. To do a photo thing with my broken arm. Thank you. Oh, that was thrown on me. Thank you very much. That wasn't in the script at all. All right, thank you very much. Now I'm completely lost where I was in the script. No, thank you. It has been, just trying to read the small text, has been fun for the most part. There's been ups and downs. I'm pleased the committee's stuck with me through my dummy spits and everything else. But 10 years is an enormous time. I'm looking forward to retirement somehow. So if anyone has any ideas on retirement, let me know, and they'll be awesome. Sorry? Yeah, heckling from the crowd. Strategy paper.
That's me.
Did you want to go through some of that? Brett's only been allotted 3 hours for this bit, so thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, Mark. The other change that we made to the Constitution, which I didn't mention earlier, is that we've added some objectives. So those bottom 3 there on the screen are new objectives for the association. And we've chosen our words pretty carefully here to aid in the personal and professional development of members. Anyone who's on committee, you get personal development as well. So, so there's that. We also wanted to put in there that, you know, we're about trying to contribute to your business success as well. That should be part of what we're doing. So that's a focus for it. It should be in the Constitution that we're about that. Thirdly, it didn't say anywhere that we're allowed to have fun, and that's what we actually are trying to do. So we just call that fellowship. I don't know why we didn't say to have fun, but that's now in our Constitution that we have to do that. So you have to do that. Sorry. Just a little bit about Miles' initiative, Widelines, and what that is a set of ethical guidelines for our industry that we intend to publish and promote to the business community. It is not a set of rules. It's absolutely not rules. It's a bunch of principles and examples. And what we're really hoping is that all of you will agree with each other that they are a reasonable set of principles, and that you will adopt those and do those things in the course of running your business. We've now got a project of developing a website for Widelines, and we're going to do that in Drupal. And Guy Park is here tonight. He's going to project manage that for us. And we're calling for volunteers to help us code that up. And we'd also like some volunteers from a UX viewpoint as well to kick in at the initial stages. And already we have some terrific people who've stepped forward to volunteer time to help us make that site something special. Sean Gardner, Michael Wormsley in Sydney, Dave Cake has volunteered to help as well. I missed someone else. Colin has been helpful on the design viewpoint. He's given us a design concept, and the specification is done, and we're ready to go on that. So if you do have some capacity in that area, please step forward and be involved in that. The Web Awards, as Miles said, somewhat, less than we'd like in the Web Awards at the moment. And what's true about that is that a number of large web developers don't enter those awards. And I've got a theory on that. I think they're gutless. I think really they're worried that they're not going to win, and they don't want to enter it unless they win. And how we can respond to that as an organisation is by working hard to promote the people who do win the awards, and rather than just putting them on the on a list on a web page, we should be featuring those businesses on the home page of our website, and we should be issuing press releases, and we should be talking them up in social media. So that's what we'll be doing in the next 12 months for the companies that do win an Australian Web Award. As Miles said, this year we tried something different. We tried crowdsourcing the rating of websites with Crowdies. I have to say I'm not happy with the success of that at the moment. There are some things that have worked well for us. We've got some PR as a result of it, which historically we haven't been good at. But we really haven't successfully got a lot of engagement. So I'm going to throw that at you people and come back to us and say, look, what have we done wrong here? What's a better way of engaging the general population to rate websites and get involved in the distinctions of what makes a good Australian website and what does not? And now our own website, the AWIA website, which has been kind of the elephant in the room for the committee during the year, and we've only just got this together. You have to take my word on this. It's taken a while for us to get to the point where we are ready to do something about, to fix some of the problems with the website and to relaunch it and do something interesting with it. It's a good time for you to get involved in that now. By all means, critique what it looks like at the moment. We've got a little committee that we've started. Sean Gardner has been particularly great in that, and he's given lots of direction on UX and strategy, and we've got a group and we're ready to go on that project. But your input is absolutely welcome on that. Really would like you to get involved. So now, thanks to what Ricky and Miles have prepared us for with the merger of these two associations, we're going to be a national organisation, and here's what's going to happen. We're going to have Port 80 in Perth. We're having Port 80 is well established in Melbourne now. We've got a task group in Sydney of people who are going to start it there. Nick Crowther in Adelaide is going to get it started in Adelaide, and we're looking for someone in Brisbane. If you know someone who you think would be useful, then please let us know who that is. Patrick Templeman-Twells, who is a delightful person with a heart as big as all outdoors, is going to take on running Port 80 in Western Australia, and has also got a project to look at regional areas, starting in Western Australia and then extending into other areas as well. And we're looking for ambassadors. If you know someone who is in a regional area who works in the industry, we want people to to approach other companies in their town and tell them about AWIA and explore the possibilities for them having Port 80 meetings in their own areas as well. The thing I didn't say to you as well is, if you're in Melbourne, by the way, the Web Awards is on October the 6th. It's at Luna Park, and don't miss the opportunity to go to that because it's a very buzzy night. Make sure you explore that option. So that is the strategy that we've got in place at the moment, and I wanted to extrapolate on that a little bit. So I've got 4 challenges for you as a group. And I'm going to throw some things at you here, and I'm interested to talk about these things over time with you. I put the first 2 together: spend more time socially with each other and connect to the broader community. One of the things I think we should be doing is we should be streaming Port 80 events. That will increase the size of our reach, and you guys are clever and you've got stuff to say, and we should be facilitating that. In terms of the communities that we reach, then, you know, I think we ought to be running Port 80s for the people in the street as well. We should have some nights that we run for lay people and invite lay people in here, and you can talk to them in simple to understand language and explain things about the web and technology, and we should charge money for that. That should be something that we do and we make money from. We should also, in terms of other communities, we should be reaching out to the business community and inviting the business community to come in and attend a special Port 80 event. And who would be talking at that event? Well, the Drupal meetup group would be talking, and on another day, the WordPress meetup group and the accessibility groups. We should be, AWIA should be a forum that helps Plug and Django and all those different, you know, the Linux user group, all you guys, we should be making it easier for you to reach an audience and influence an audience. So I propose that we adopt that strategy as well. The other community that we should really be engaging with is the startup community. We already have a lot of people who are working on startups in the association, and obviously in an industry where we're going to be under cost pressure from parts of the world where the cost of labour is lower, there is the capacity for us to earn a lot more money from developing new businesses than there is from creating web pages for existing businesses. So Startup Weekend is on September 7th and 8th. I encourage you to go to that. And get involved in morning startups. They're held every 2 weeks here. And, you know, I'm flagging that we're going to get closer to the startup community. Tell me if you think differently, but that's what I reckon. Thirdly, I would be interested to have a conversation with you people about what defines us as an organisation, because it occurs to me that we are not a bunch of people who make web pages. Yeah, we are people who mostly are committed to particular things. We are advocates for good design. We're advocates for good business process. We're advocates for accessibility. You know, what else are we interested in advocating for apart from those sorts of things? Do we have a viewpoint about copyright law? Do we have a viewpoint about privacy law? We're going to have an opportunity to express some of those views to government. So tell us what you want to say and what views you have on those subjects. And maybe we can find some areas in which we agree. And I'm also interested to talk to you about like who we really are, you know, over and above what we advocate. You know, are we rationalists? Are we futurists? You know, what is it that defines the people that work in our industry? Because if we can come up with a way that sums us up and expresses who we are in the world, that will distill us and make us a more powerful organisation. I believe. So I'd like to have a session on another day where we talk about that, and and I think we should be running those sessions in Melbourne and in other places as well. Fourthly, I don't hold too much with the committee idea. We've got a committee. We've got to have a committee because the Constitution says that, and there's some advantages to that. But we have a lot of flexibility with the subcommittees. All of you here can sit on a subcommittee, and I would really like you to put your hand up and go, yeah, I'm interested to give input on our website, or I'm interested to get involved in wide lines. And, you guys can make up whatever title you want. We're pretty okay with that. But let's not play this silly game of there's a committee, they'll go away and do all the work, and once a year they'll come back and report. That is a poor system in my view, and we can do much better than that. And as a group of people, gee, we've done a lot of stuff with almost all the work being done just by volunteers on the committee. If you guys engage with us, we can do an awful lot more. And we've got a bold agenda here for the next couple of years. We do need support, so come with us on that. I just wanted to put in a plug for Plug, and the Perth Linux Users Group have supported us today by streaming the event for us, and thanks to James Bromberger and Jason and Luke and Michael and Ewan and Nick. Thank you very much indeed for your time and for your help tonight. And Miles, I think we can declare the AGM closed. Thank you, and with nothing else to add to that, I declare that the session has ended.
Please hang around though, because Lachlan's the main event this evening. That was just the warm-up. We bored you to tears so far, so anything Lachlan says is going to be great. But no, Lachlan really is an amazing person, amazing speaker. And I'm pleased to share my humble podium with him this evening. So I'll start in about 10 minutes or so. There's a stack of pizzas. Were we sponsored by Domino's this evening or something? I tried to eat them all. There is still about 30 boxes left, just at the back of the room. So please grab some pizza, another drink, and we'll see you in 10. Thank you.